The following program is a work of fiction intended to educate and astonish the YouTube community. It has been carefully edited to conform to all YouTube guidelines, and any resemblance to any real contests, prizes, phone contacts, websites, or historical figures is purely coincidental.
Frank, hey, it's TR. How you doing? Where are you? You don't sound right. You're in Singapore. Okay, that's not one of my favorite cities, but I understand. Singapore. So what's the problem? Huh. Boy, it must smell terrible in that room. So how much do you owe the hotel? $1,400. Right, and okay. Well, Singapore is exactly the wrong place to have graveyard goods, you know. I mean, unless you enjoy, you know, being flogged for 30 years. So my first suggestion is, you have a ticket, right? So my first suggestion is just to walk away. Just walk away. Just, you know, take a cab to the airport and fly away. Well, I know, the Diamond Dog. Oh, that you have that vase, don't you? I forgot about that. That's probably a $2 or $3 million vase. Okay. Well, here, how much actual cash do you have? No, I know for sure. Now, check your passport. You put a $5 bill in there at one point. You have $5 in your passport. So here's what you do. Don't take a bus. It's only about an hour walk from the hotel to the racetrack. Okay? Now go to the racetrack, and in the very first race, I want you to bet on a horse named Derwids. Now I don't care how it's Derwids. He's going to go off at 55 to 1. That's right. No, just I know it sounds a little strange, but you know, if you want to, yeah. Derwids, I don't know his number, but he'll be starting from the outside. Okay. Well, hey, well, good luck, and yeah, I mean, you got to keep going, so I can keep going. So it'll work out. Don't worry. Okay, we'll catch you next time. Thanks, Fred. Bye. My Sagaxi, my Derwids. Today's a very important day for the city of Athenopolis. Today is Poetry Day. This kicks off 3 days of tragic poetry, comedic poetry. This is where the greatest minds and the greatest expressions give vision to the future of the city. And it's also the day, traditionally, where we disclose some of our most recent and important discoveries and point a direction for the wisdom class to pursue in the near future. And we have some very impressive, I'm so proud of you, some very impressive discoveries. As you may have heard, we have discovered the sister sun to our sun. The son of Nain was born a twin, and we have located that twin in the Milky Way. And not completely unsurprisingly, we have also determined that one of the planets circling this sun is the planet Bid.
This is a very interesting and special painting because this comes from the travels of the Roddenberry Nine and what they saw, initially at least, when they stepped outside the universe and looked back. And as you can see, there's one large pearl, which is the universe, and 4 other smaller pearls or universes beneath. And after this image, the vision of the universe changed. But we'll get to that later.
In entertainment news, let's take you to our Cub reporter and valued asset, Ted Sampson. In for a very sad report, if you will. Ted?
Thank you, Henry. This is Ted Sampson, Cub reporter for Channel 9. Station 9 is where you want to be. 100 years ago, 1993. The unfortunate demise of Kevin Hamilton, bass player for the Wet Spots, bass player for Ponce and the American Pickle. He overdosed, and it was a spiral. He was a monkey when it came to his drugs, and unfortunately he met his bitter end. It was a shock, not only to Ponce, but to the rest of the band. Here lies the resting spot of Kevin Hamilton. And despite his fame, there are very few left who can stand over his remains. There are a few spectral guests who will come in from time to time to pay homage to the fallen bass player that was one of the icons of the post-punk, pre-grunge movement that was edified by the Pickle and ultimately the Wet Spots. From the resting place of Kevin Hamilton, and for all you viewers out there, we humbly ask that you send your condolences and well wishes to this poor soul. From the resting place, this is Ted Sampson, Cub reporter, TV 9.
Ted, thank you for a heartfelt and moving eulogy to a past entertainer and friend. And now it's time for a public service announcement from the Roddenberry 9.
Hello, I'm Frank Landover, and I have a special announcement for you today. I know all of you have heard of the Roddenberry 9, and yes, I've made two major blunders. The first was allowing the Roddenberry 9 to fall into the hands of first number 7, and then Carlos the Jackal. And the second mistake wasn't keeping it hidden, because truly, as mind expands, we are looking for those strong minds to explore the entire universe. There is no space and time with the comlinks. You're instantly there. And we need the adventurous, the hearty, the self-sufficient, the intelligence and the courage to encounter worlds that have never been seen, felt, or solved before. So yes, now the Roddenberry 9 is public. You can apply. There is a difficult and rigorous selection. With that,
we've got something incoming. We've got an instant information report, a flash report coming in, dark matter, which researchers believe make up about 80% of the universe. Its mass is one of the most elusive mysteries in modern physics. What exactly it is and how it came to be is a mystery. But a new study now suggests that dark matter may have existed before the Big Bang. While not much is known about its origins, astronomers have shown that dark matter plays a crucial role in the formation of the galaxies and galaxy clusters. Though not directly observable, scientists know that dark matter exists by its gravitational effects on how visible matter moves and is distributed in space. Also, how this ties into intergalactic travel, especially with the new modern technology that was introduced by the Druids. We know that Carlos has exhibited much information as far as reaching out into the galaxies to expose and to possibly, inflict his ideas and dialectic upon the universe is of grave concern to the masses and also to the Derwids at large. This is something we must be mindful of moving forward. The effect upon political influence and, more importantly, military influence upon the universe may be contacted through dark matter and through the wormholes that tie and bind. Again, Henry Pinth Cornell for Immediate News here on Channel 9. And now, let's get with Tom with the weather. Tom?
Well, we got 3 more to go. Let's give us
All right,
number
let's knock them out of the
3.
park.
Come on there, Arthur. Let's
All right.
wrap this up with number 3.
Okay. Number 3 is trying to sneak into Momo for free.
Oh, we should write that in, though. Trying to sneak in Momo for free. No, it's not. It's actually Al Moody, the reggae artist.
Oh, Al Moody. Yeah, he only made one record, one LP, but very hard to find. Roots album, which we were talking about before, was recorded at Lee Perry's Black Ark studio. And great album, great stripped down Roots sound.
I can see it. There's a lot of grunge in season 3.
Now, did Al Moody ever play Portland?
Nobody played LA.
He played LA. That's pretty close.
That's close.
That's close.
We go to LA. We'll go to LA.
We were filming in LA.
We're filming down there.
Yeah, Al toured with Yellow Man. Yeah.
Yellow Man. Now that's big time.
Jaw Works. Marley. Any of that?
I don't know.
Pablo. Tubby.
King Tub.
They probably knew each other. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's good. I mean.
Yeah. This game can turn on you like crazy, though, man.
You can. I haven't seen any turn. I'm just glad I got my wins in when I could, because this is normally just slaughtering a tape. Just, I mean, like young chickens in front of cars. 3.
11.
14. 52, 54, 56, 58, and 6 or 14.
Good hand.
Thank you. I rarely get a 14 hand, but when I do, I love that shit. I love that shit. Oh man. Ace! God, motherfucker! God, a cowboy for the love of Pete's half acre. 12. 18 for 3, possibly 4.
19.
23.
30.
That's a go. And a go. And here comes the Dutch, making the late ride. It's Turbulator. And here comes Hoovener with a huge, big, pulsing boner of a hand. 15-2 and 6 for 8. And you know, the crowd loves. He didn't quite get a... Oh, did he? No, no. Oh, the crowd is loving every minute of it.
I mean, this is a good sense in which, you know, the superposition of time.
And this is the second vision. So we have the same image as before from the 4 white pearls. This time a burst of electricity, a burst of color, and the hope for life with these bold colors you see here. This is the second vision in the series.
That one of the planets circling this sun is the planet Bid. With our instruments, we have confirmed what the explorations of the Roddenberry 9 suggested. So yes, Nair is a twin of Bid, with twin suns. And both of these suns rotate about the center, the massive black hole at the center of the Milky Way, at an angle about 67 degrees, counterclockwise to the motion of most of the other stars in the galaxy. So what are our tasks at hand from this new discovery? First, because we are a Socratic institution, we need to know ourselves in great depth. And the ancient myth of souls who die on Nair and reborn on Bid, and those that die on Bid and reborn on Nair, that process, that unconscious myth from our Western past, we now have the capability of making the process, the transmigration, completely conscious, completely subject to the individual wills of Sagaxi.
Good day, Athro.
Ah, hello, Athro.
Special occasion. I brought you a Sumatra today.
Oh,
We've been working so long on this.
thank you. Much appreciated.
You know, I was thinking the other night, I've been thinking really about this quest to improve the comlinks. And yes, we've been working on it very hard. And we've done a lot of experimentation with the Valetic energy and so forth. And but I've been thinking more about the criteria. You know, the first criteria about the navigation, where the traveler, if they want to go to planet Bid, they get to planet Bid and they don't end up on the gas planet or the algae planet. Okay, that wasn't too hard to figure out how to manipulate and change the formula. Now, the second criteria, the one where they requested that the presence between here and on the trip, where you're in both places at once, that they wanted to manipulate the amount of presence between each. That, of course, has been holding us up recently.
Right.
And I understand now, based on thinking of the third criteria, which is where they wanted to be able to start and stop the trip instead of the collective mind of the group finishing the voyage. All the data sets we've been collecting has me thinking that maybe we shouldn't be focusing so much on changing the invention. I mean, it's been an amazing experience. I mean, we've been studying this for a while, and I like doing these improvements.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got a point there. I mean, I wondered about this formula, whether we can substitute out Dimension 9 here, which may propel the ability to transcend our own universe and move on to communication with another one.
Well, possibly, but you had an idea the other week and we dismissed it right away. And that was the idea that everything has been symmetry. And you brought up this notion of, why does it have to be symmetry? Why can't it be an asymmetry between the two towers? I mean, in a working example we have right here, I mean, our Earth and our Moon, right? It's a package deal, right? I mean, we can't have one without the other.
Right.
So if the cardioid difference if there is different voledic energy in each space, think of it also maybe as like constants and variables. You could have the nucleus, the protons and neutrons could be the constant, whereas the electron could be the variable.
Right. That's true.
I'm thinking that in doing all of this manipulation, every time we try to do an improvement, we might be short-circuiting the whole project.
Really?
The whole design that Lawrence created many, many years ago.
Huh. I wonder if we have to consult with Lawrence about this in that case.
At a certain point, if we are doing the right amount of investigation, he will be brought in. Why not ask him a question now? I mean, having an independent set of eyes is what was requested by the MAVI, the multiple maximum allowable variable input. They said we want a different set of eyes than Lawrence to work on the project.
Right, okay.
But if it means that to maximize all these data sets is simply asking Lawrence a question, then we should maximize the information by, if we get to a point where we need his help.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking. If it's possible. I know he's busy working on the ASME. And
True.
I'm not really sure if we can be able to get a hold of him or not.
Well, it might be worth a try.
You think you know where his hideout is? I know he's been working in his secret laboratory somewhere and doesn't want to be disturbed, but...
I heard something about the Nain. I don't know if it's the same person or not.
That sounds like Lawrence.
Right. I think we'd be able to find him though.
If you have a lead, I think it's worth exploring, finding him, and your idea that you came up with,
right,
with the asymmetry. That may very well be the solution to this, and it could very well show that it's up to the travelers and their minds to do these changes.
That's true.
Instead of us building it into the voledic energy, maybe it's the travelers who need to consider how to focus on getting to bid, or how to focus on the presence and the length of the trip. Not always rely on us to be constantly tweaking the technology. We even
very true.
Made the flat black version of these once. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Turned out pretty crazy.
Right, I remember that.
Said, no, they got to be glossy black.
Right. Oh, Matt messes everything up.
Yeah. That was a crazy time. Well, if you want to do the adventure, I'll hold down the fort.
Of course, yeah. Let me see if I can go track down Lawrence then.
Very good.
Thanks again.
Enjoy the Sumatra.
I will. And then, yes, this is the third view. So after that burst of color, hope, light that we had in the second view, here, what happens is the clouds have moved in. A dust has settled over the pearls, over the universes, and it's obscured it. And we're not sure quite why. Perhaps just a passing thing, perhaps by observing it, it suddenly changed. But all of a sudden, that hope and vision of the second iteration is suddenly, at least for this moment, has been gone.
Subject to the individual wills of Sagaxi. So I think you can feel and see the great import of these discoveries. And yes, there are two more that fit right in. As I mentioned, our stars, our suns, rotate in opposite direction at an elliptic. angle. What does this mean? This means that the Milky Way was not our original home. That we were a galaxy. Smaller, perhaps by a third. Looser, for sure. Lighter, indubitably lighter. The dialectic of tragedy and comedy, of levity and gravity, is due to the fact that we have become imprisoned in this darkness, this intense gravity generated by the massive gravity hole at the center of the Milky Way. Yes, this is an important element of our being, this knowing where we came from and where we stand now.
Athrawon! How are you doing, Nain?
Good to see you. You found me. Excellent job, Athrawon.
I knew you would be in the woods.
Yes, I'm working on Asmi right now. How can I help you?
Well, we're trying to do some work on the domes.
Yes.
We want to expand the connection beyond our universe.
The comlinks. Yes.
Exactly. Sorry, I was looking at the previous model, which you created.
It's all a family. It started with, did you see the original Omicron down there?
Oh, yes.
Started with the Omicron, came into the, yes, and then, yes, they're all a family based on valetic energy, and so is the new ASME. Well, see if I can answer your question for you. Don't have a lot of time, but what's your question?
Well, how do we get beyond our own universe with these?
With the comlinks?
Yes.
You've been improving them, I hope.
Right. Yes, we're trying to change the angles and switch different things out in the formula, put in dimension 9. And
You put in dimension 9?
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Oh, you already did it, okay.
The asymmetry was another idea.
Asymmetry,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I think it's probably time to make a phone call then. Excuse me just a minute.
Of course.
A couple extra numbers. Hey, it's me. Oh, you already know the question? Well, okay, so you already know the question. And he has the solution. Okay? Have a great day. Thanks a lot. You heard it. He said you already have the solution. I think you have some very interesting days ahead of you. That's right.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'll just let me know what happens, and I'll just have to get back to my work. But nice to see you.
Yes. Thank you, Afro.
Give everybody my best regards.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Oh, this is a tough one. I've pondered long and hard about why all of a sudden after that obscurity, suddenly then the pearl turns gold. And really there's some kind of mysterious force at work here, but to be honest with you, even after talking to Texas Red, I have no idea what's going on.
And a third discovery, as equally impressive with the rest, that fits in perfectly, is the discovery and the prefrontal cortex of a section, an unused section in our brain. That enables us to will this transmigration. A few billion years ago, we were swimming in salty water. And death and annihilation was close at hand and entirely blind. And in that salty water, we developed an organ we called the eye. And eventually that eye moved from the side to the front and then to the top when we leapt to land. And now as Homo Sagax prepares to expand throughout the universe, we can use this new organ in our brain to make that willful transmigration. Because the feeling among the scientists and the psychics and the psychologists in the city is that we must first solidify this connection with the planet bid, with the souls in the planet bid. We must reunite the twin stars, the twin suns, the twin planets. Once this unification has been accomplished, we can use that as a base to expand throughout the universe. My Sagaxi, my Derwids, this is a joyous day for the city of Athenopolis. All joy seeks eternity, and we are well on our way. So, let the verses flow, let the wine flow, and let the games begin.
Athro.
Athro, you're back.
Yes.
What do we have?
Eritrean.
Oh my.
Yes. If you thought the Sumatra was good,
Yeah.
better try this.
Banged it out for me. I appreciate this.
Yeah, of course, of course.
You made it back safely.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Alive
from
in
the
one
woods. Yeah. It was funny to see all of the original models out there.
The prototypes.
The Omicron and the V-domes, you know, I'd heard of them and seen diagrams, but never really seen them in person.
Oh yeah.
And they were very effective, so.
And even just touching them, you get the hints, the flavor of what would be to come here.
Absolutely.
And how's Asmi coming along? Understand that's...
I think it's coming along pretty well. Though, you know, when I asked him, you know, about what we were discussing last time, he was just saying, you know, that I already knew the answer.
Oh, it must be the asymmetry we were talking about.
Actually, no.
No.
I was thinking more about it, and it was just, I don't think we need to use these at all. In fact, we can just put them, cancel everything out. What we have to do is just expand the concept of the mind. And that's our way to move beyond our universe. Otherwise, with these, we're still just bounded by the laws of physics that were put in place by this universe. If we just use our mind and expand our mind and our mental energy and powers, we can go beyond and we can travel further to different universes and make more communication and more contact.
That'll be a tough sell to the new travelers, but you're absolutely right, 100%.
Yeah.
We can't keep tweaking this technology, otherwise we'll never stop tweaking the technology.
Right.
Close the vortex altogether.
Right. And we can only get so far with this, even though we've come so far from the beginning. You know, it's a certain point the technology only helps a certain deal. Beyond that, we have to use our own capacities and expand those capacities.
Well, I think our work here is done. Athro?
Athro?
I think it's time to investigate the city of Athenopolis and see what they have to... it's going to be a hard sell, but I think they'll understand.
I think so.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Much better than Sumatra. Much, much better.
Definitely.
sun comes up, the sun goes down, sun comes up, sun comes down, the sun goes up, the sun goes 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 down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, the sun goes up, the sun goes down, the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, and the sun goes up, and the sun goes down, the sun goes up, the sun goes down, the sun goes up, and the sun goes down.